Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain community, checking out the cryptocurrency market and beyond? That's what it's all about. You know what, Chip? XRP, that's what's up. And you know what's unique about XRP? Still the only one with true legal clarity. And so I'm going to put out a challenge to everybody out there watching and prove us wrong. Prove us wrong that XRP is the only asset that still has legal regulatory clarity. All that's getting ready to change come 2025. But the basis of new legal clarity might just be based off of that big SEC v. Ripple case that somehow interwove all the XRP and the XRP community into it. That's it, Chip. Thank you and good night.
Thank you and good night. That was a great show, Jeff.
That was awesome.
Let's toast the new year.
Let's toast the new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Let's do this, guys. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight and some fun posts on X and all that good stuff. Guys, see you in a second. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Whoa. On the Chain. It's a catchy tune, Jeff. It's very catchy.
It is.
Guys, let's see where you're coming in from today. Where is everybody? Where's our down under people? Where is our Florida people? Where are our West Coasters here? And how about our folks up in New York? How about over in Europe? How about the UK? How about Europe? Where is everybody coming in from?
You know who's over here in Europe, in the UK? I mean, we've got London, Adrian S. in the building from London.
Checking in. Ready.
He checked in.
OTC
first in. That was awesome. And by the way, before we get rolling here, Peter the Cabbage Eater over there in Toronto, soon to be 51st state.
Yeah, I like that.
Past our northern border. So hang in there for the next 4 years because it's going to be awesome. Got Randy Aloha coming in from Hawaii, maybe? Not sure. But we've got, check this out. Right off the bat, we got Sooner Mao coming. Gasparino eats corn the long way.
We're going to talk about Gasparino tonight. It's funny. Isn't it funny how the audience is always talking about stuff before we pull it up? Because they know, Jeff.
They know
what's going on. They're very smart.
They do know. They're very smart.
Appreciate
we have
that.
the best. I think we have the best crypto audience out of all
there's no doubt, Jeff.
YouTube.
There's
we
no
have the
doubt.
best. By far the best. And just to give everybody a quick shout out, we will be doing another drawing today for another digital asset. So not digital asset, for another badass YETIS NFT, White Tribe from the White Tribe. But check this guy out. This guy is a Yuck Yuck. He's from the Yuck Yuck clan.
Oh, we haven't given a Yuck Yuck away. Yuck Yucks are they are the ones that make all the comedy, Jeff. They're the comedy. Bring the comedy to the team. Let me go ahead and set this up.
Look, you've got some highlight around them, some blue highlight, and I love these little tiny pine trees in the foreground. He looks like a giant, but the Yuck Yucks are very cool. They're up there in the Himalayas, and they are one of the badass Yetis from the White Tribe.
Ontario Yeti. Look at Scott M's got the Yeti going there.
Man.
I grew up right across this. I mean, I have all my relatives, a lot of relatives from Hungary. My grandfather was the only one that came down from Ontario, so I got a lot of relatives up there. Of course, they kept the original chip name, so it's you won't recognize it if you go looking for them, but there you go. And then, of course, Steve Willits, G'day champions, G'day lurkers, happy Yowie, get a new Yowie year. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Right. Got the XRP gal, my here. Maybe that meant to be New York. Is that New York, or is MY something else? Is that like Myanmar? What else would be MY? Or it might be NY. Could very well be NY. But if it wasn't MY, I'm trying to think what an MY would be out there. A lot of Yetis being posted.
Yeah.
And get your Zaman wallet ready, because we got to do the quick Zaman giveaway, or I'm getting everything mixed up here. We're going to give the badass Yetis giveaway, but you need to have your Zaman wallet ready to go. Get that address ready so we can put it in, transfer the bad boy over to you. We got a whole bunch of cool things that we want to get into today. Every day seems to be some momentum within the crypto space, and every day I find it amazing some of the things that I've been seeing on YouTube. I see all these kind of quasi new YouTubers popping up and talking about XRP, and it just seems, I feel like we kind of get a rehash of everything that we've lived through for the past, who knows how many years has it been now? It's been quite a few years.
It's been a bunch of them, I gotta say.
A whole bunch of years.
Yeah, it's been a whole bunch of years. I'm trying to.
Matt, this is number one, but it's been a very big one.
Yeah, it's been quite the ride. All right, let's get this show on the road. So, guys, type in Yeti. We've got 12 entries in there. Jeff, my dad just sent me a picture of myself, and he said, "Nice hair." Do you think he's trying to tell me something?
Nice hair.
It's like it's like everybody wants me to cut my hair. It's like, cut your hair. You don't fit in with society anymore, Chip.
That's right.
You're not the guy. You got to just cut your hair. My wife, like, she's like, "When are you gonna cut your hair?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm gonna grow a little bit longer." I'm like, "Look, I'm 60. Let me just enjoy the hair, Jeff.
Do what you want to do.
I mean, come on, Jeff. I mean,
do whatever you want to do.
If you were my age, which you're not even close yet, but if you were, you'd be like, dude, if you'd grow it out. I mean, what the hell? It's fun.
I'm gonna grow it out. Check it out.
I was gonna make a bet with you, and I thought, you know what I'll do? If you lose, you have to shave your head. And I was like, wait a minute, what Jeff? I have to make him wear a wig for a week. Wear hair for a week if we do it. It's like
I'm gonna have to wear long hair for a week.
Doesn't really work so well.
So Aaron went and got his hair cut and went to the barber, and there's only one guy there that uses scissors, and that's where he normally goes because his hair has been pretty long. Yeah, so he decides he said, I'm going to do it short over the break. So he comes home, and it was almost buzzed. I mean, it was a nice fade. It was really, really, I thought it was pretty good. And he goes, oh my God, it's too short. How long do you think it's going to take to grow back? Think my hair will be the same length it was when I started, like in 2 weeks? When I go back to school, I'm like, try like 3 months, maybe more. He goes, 3 months.
Zorber's like, my dad was my barber. No pictures. Even on the show, if you follow the evolution, you could do like the 5 years. My hair changes and you stay the same, dude. It's like your hair. It's like we do a compilation of you.
No difference.
The only thing that changes is like sometimes your beard got a little bit fuller and longer.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Beard growing. So you have a beard, then you don't have a beard. And that would be like the evolution there too.
That would be the change.
Rock star. Rocking the hair like Skid Row, Sebastian Bach. Yeah, well, we're about the same age, so that's what too much drugs and alcohol would do to you. I think. How old is Sebastian Bach? He's got to be in his 60s, right? I mean, we got to be around the same age. I don't know. Who knows? Who really knows? But I can tell you.
Look at that, Chip. XRP gal, my hair is down to my butt. I grow it every few years and then cut it off and send it to organizations for cancer patients for wigs. That's really.
That's what I was going to do too. I was going to let it grow. That's what I told. That's what my old eye doctor used to do that, and unfortunately, he passed away at 59, and he was my eye doctor for over 15 years, and it just broke my heart. And that's what he used to do. He had super long hair. He wore it like in a really tight bun, but he showed me a picture where his face was scruffy, and he goes, he said, check this picture out. He goes, when I go out in public, nobody recognizes me. I go, why? He goes, check this out. Super long hair down to here, like big long hair, kind of a scruffy beard. I'm like, dude, I'm looking at the picture and I don't recognize you. I'm like, I know that's you, and I don't know who that is, right? So he was just a good dude, and he had a massive heart attack at 59. Super fit dude. Played in like basketball league. He used to play hockey. Grew up in the same part of New York, and man, it just really crushed me. But what are you gonna do, man?
Look at this. OSW. It's 60.
60. Yeah. What an old bastard, old dude. Yeah. I always tell my kids, I'm like, go easy on me. I'm 60, but I still know what you're up to. Still know what you're up to.
You stay young at heart.
But I'll run everybody around when it comes to AI and any other new technology. And it's a good thing I work in tech and have for a long time, because I do think that does keep you young. Of course, having young kids helps you too, because they will get you in tune with the stuff. And even bands too. I listen to a lot of newer bands too. So hit the like. Karma Carmichael's right. He's making a solid point here. Guys, if you're in here, hit the like button. I wish there was a fire button. Can you imagine if there's a fire button, like just burn it down? Boom, you can just hit the fire button. Boom, just burn it. But Charlie Gasparino, which, I've come to the realization that Charlie Gasparino is having a lot of fun, because he's just taking the piss out of the XRP army. And they're like, come on, put your fist up. Come on. Like they want to fight about it. I'm like, he's cracking me up. But but everybody takes him so serious. Like first he was hitting on the GameStop guys, right? He was hitting all the guys. He's like, you're in your mom's basement, you're probably behind a keyboard, sad, right? And then he started on the XRP army because we played the little bit that he was on your boy Pomp's podcast. And so everybody started like sending him, posts on X, and he was just retaliating. Do you headbang? Of course I do, man. Hell yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And he was going crazy. And he got into it with James Rule. He got into it with Crypto Eddie. He got into it with Tony Edward from Thinking Crypto. And Tony's like the straightest, probably most, coolest guy who just, what I love about James Rule is James Rule educates people, especially on scams. He's a teacher, right? He teaches people how to use a cold storage wallet, how to, how to like spot scams, right? He's doing good in the world. Crypto Eddie with the research, of course, valuable members of the XRP army. Tony Edward, who does amazing interviews, brings a lot of great stuff to the community. And he got into it with everybody, but I laugh at him and I'm like, listen, man, I don't take any of this stuff he says serious because he makes me laugh a lot. But I look at Charlie as like, look, he used to be a never Trumper. He came around to Trump and he wrote a great book called Go Woke, Go Broke, right? So he's down with the political side of stuff and he gets it. And he's a good reporter too. But does he get everything right? No, nobody does, especially people, I'm not the same age as Charlie. I mean, like, you're not going to understand all the tech. One of my Bitcoin buddies from the UK today said, Trump is like idiocracy. And I said, dude, he'll be the first crypto president. How's Keir Starmer doing? Has he destroyed the rest of your country yet? I'm like, tell me what's going on with the left and decentralization. Oh, that's incongruent with freedom. Okay. Because if you want centralized control, you can't be for decentralization. I mean, decentralized anything, government, blockchain. They say they are, but are they really? So I look at that whole thing. And so these guys were going back and forth. Jeff, I wish I almost had all of the things they went back and forth with because it's fun stuff. But I wanted to play just a couple selections of these, just some of the stuff that was going around. So James Rule said, hey, Charlie did spit out some garbage during that interview. Let Ellie Tarrant speak the truth from now on because Charles doesn't give an F. XRP News. Lawyer retracts as Gasparino calls ruling idiotic. He called the ruling idiotic when he was on Pomp's podcast. We have that. And then here we got Crypto Aries. He says, oh gosh, where do these go? You got to pull them all out in order here. I gotta go all the way back. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, James Rule said, I think the XRP army was a little hard on the beaver, meaning making a little play on Charlie. And then Charlie Gasparino said, there's no XRP army. Just a bunch of dudes who bought the coin that make insiders rich and have been wanting their payday ever since. See Creepy Jimmy. It ain't fun stalking me. Sad how he calls James Rule Creepy Jimmy. So he's got a little nickname there. But what is insiders rich? What insiders, Jeff? He doesn't even when he even says this stuff, he's just throwing stuff at the wall, right? Then he goes on to say, the Crypto Eddie goes, not John Deaton or Ellie Terry could put a stop with this. Only Fox Business. Well, then back with the XRP army or family really thinks they can stop me from doing my job. And by the way, negate the First Amendment, never going to happen. Here's my advice. Stop talking and trolling me, and I'll probably forget you exist. I never throw the first punch. He's telling you he's trolling the hell out of you, but somehow people can't, and it's like, to me, I laugh at the whole thing, I mean,
but he can troll all he wants. When he did the whole interview that he did with your boy Pomp over there, the whole thing is he didn't get it. We reviewed it. We talked about it. He's missing on a couple different levels on how to truly analyze what's happening in the space. He wasn't trolling on Pomp's podcast unless his whole thing was a troll, and he calls out the way the court case ended, and the judge's ruling. Now the judge is a little bit off on other things, and was called out, like we talked about yesterday, by Senator Kennedy. But at the same point, she ruled on this one. It was a fair ruling. It was a good outcome. It made a lot of sense. But yet Gasparino is trying to call out on the things that do make sense. And yet he keeps trolling the community. And that's what he's doing. To your point, he's definitely trying to just, garner a little bit of feedback in the space, a little bit of discourse, but sometimes you can't, these reporters, that's all they're doing is just, they're trying to throw their opinion into things and they're trying to report on it. He's not going to get it all right. You can do a little extra research, figure things out a little bit more in detail and depth. He could talk about, if he wants to reference it, he could talk about what's going to happen coming up in 2025, but he didn't. He doesn't reference, what Trump is going to accomplish with the crypto space and the first crypto president. He doesn't analyze it. He's not properly workshopping it. So I think, some of the negative, the comments, Crypto Eddie is, obviously one of the more intelligent people within this community, researching and digging in. So if she has an issue with some of the things that he's saying, and for him to come back, to her like that, I think that he's a little bit off the mark also. I think that's the point. What are your thoughts?
I laugh. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I caught on this a long time ago that he's just goofing around. And look,
Oh yeah,
when he was on the podcast, like he doesn't understand certain concepts. Like you were right. He was doing a serious interview, but when he said that he started off saying, I wanted to write the seminal piece on the SEC v. Ripple case, which he did along with Ellie, right? Ellie Tarrant. And they did do that.
a lot better.
He says, he says, because it was unfair, they went after Ripple. And then later he calls the judge a moron, makes a Warnock ruling, right? But he says that they lost because of the programmatic sales, right? That to institutional investors. And then he goes on to say that I think there's a good chance that it could be overturned against XRP, meaning that XRP could be called a security. When that's never been that has never been up for even conversation, right? The SEC is not even talking about that. It's the ruling. That's it. It's the law of the land. So that's never. So him even going there is like putting some of that personal opinion in there that has nothing to do with reality. But that's okay. We all do that at times. So I don't really judge it too much. But I do want to run through some more of the.
He still owes John Deaton a steak dinner. So. You gotta find out if he ever bought that dinner for.
I'm gonna text him, see if he answers.
But you know what? We're also owed a steak dinner by a few people out there. So
we are owed a steak dinner. And I don't think we've ever collected on that bet either, Jeff.
But we have definitely not collected on that bet. But it's hard to get it. That's a problem. When you got people in different areas, that means you got to all come together and go to
Orlando. That's for sure, Jeff.
Orlando. No, I mean, we could find a center place like Tampa or something.
Local moron reacts as sad, there's another one. And then he says this one. And then James, it was funny because I reached out to James about this. I go, it's block an asshole day. And he's like, he blocked them, and so I said, why block? Seems odd to me. Pesci Grosso says he's toxic little troll who intentionally tries to ruffle the feathers of the XRP community with FUD. Absolutely. We don't need that negativity on my feed. I'm like, so what? He's having a blast hammering the XRP army. At the end of the day, do you think he cares? Man up. So who's doing a little troll? I might be doing a little trolling myself here, Jeff. And then Pesci goes, yeah, very true, man. He probably gets a kick out of ruffling feathers from the comfort of his mom's basement. So and I said, never forget who, alongside Ellie Tarrant, wrote the groundbreaking piece on the SEC Ripple lawsuit when every mainstream outlet chose to ignore it. And whether you agree with everything Gasparino says or not, he's at least earned my respect. He was the only one reporting on it, Jeff. He was the only one having John Deaton on multiple times, right?
On mainstream, yeah.
Like nobody talked about this. Fox News, Fox Business, nobody was talking about it until Gasparino got involved. And of course, I think his producer Ellie Tarrant was heavily, probably alongside of the making that really happen. So I was like, oh, I mean, there's the piece right there. We workshopped that whole entire piece. It was really well written. And so then I reached out to James and I'm like, hey, James. He goes, okay, I unblocked them. He goes, let's see where this goes. I go, just have fun with it, dude. It's too much like high school guys.
It gets to be a bit much.
Well, listen to me, dude. Everything's high school. Everything's grade school. Everything's great. It's you can go down to being 5 years old. What it equates to is people being people. That's it. People are people. And people are like, this sounds like high school to me. Dude, it's all high school.
People operate at a fifth grade level for the most part.
Yeah, they read at a fifth grade level. They operate at a fifth grade level. They don't change. That's why they listen to the same shitty music they did when they were like in ninth grade. They have between ninth and 12th grade is their window. That's the best music ever. I don't care what era you were born in. I don't
Whatever.
operate that. I have periods that are well out of my where my where my high school and college years were. That 8-year window is what people will listen to because they will think that's the greatest music in history because they can tie a memory to it, which is fantastic. But I don't operate that way.
That being said, though, Chip, I think music kind of came to an end in the 90s, kind of after grunge. You kind of went into, we kind of died out a little bit.
Nah, see, that's what happens.
What do we have now? Well, what do we have now that isn't a duplicate copy of what we used to have? I mean, there's some things that are coming now, but there was a long period of time where we just kind of had some, vacancy of music.
I don't say vacancy. It's just you stop listening to it. I think the Arctic Monkeys are still churning out great stuff. I think there's a lot of great stuff.
But I'm talking about new stuff.
But
like
that is
new bands that popped up that weren't around.
They started around 2005. Their first album came out, and it's 20 years later, and they're still making great stuff. So I don't really go there. So anyway, he said he's going to block all this stuff. We went back and forth, and then he said, and then he retweeted this, and he said, like, I didn't just write this piece on this is Charlie again, right? I didn't just write the piece on Ripple alongside Ellie Tarrant. I came up with the idea to the story. I edited it. I reported it. And I still think Judge Torres' ruling is idiotic. See, I didn't bite on that, Jeff. I could have easily bit like, what do you mean her ruling was idiotic? What are you talking about? Put your fists up. Come on, let's go. I'm like, I did. He's trolling me, I'm like, look, we may not all agree with Judge Torres' ruling, but at least we can all agree that XRP is not a security and that there's no real risk of that decision being overturned. And then James Rule put this up there of how do you deal with trolls and shit talkers? Any suggestions for other people who deal with this in the business? Congrats. You wrote the story and you're first to talk about it. Now, why don't you interview Brad Garlinghouse and Stu Alderani and give them and let them break it down for you? You say Torres got it wrong, then we see, dude, he's just throwing darts at people, right? I mean, show me John's steak, Charles. Take your loss like a man. Disagree. The ruling seems reasonable. Everybody's going on and on about it, Jeff. Look at this. This is ridiculous. You're a piker and a poser. You should be fired by Fox Business. For what? For saying whatever's on his mind on his personal feed? For what? This is how silly we become. It's not high school. It's just nuttiness, man. Who cares if you don't disagree? Blows my mind when you think XRP is a security. Who's paying you? The ETH Foundation. Who is it? The ETH Foundation? Regardless if you disagree, First look,
trying to find his old videos that he had made. Who brought that up? Jacob's Ladder brought it up that he's not doing his TikTok gym videos anymore. So I was trying to find some of his workout videos. Those were a lot of fun to follow when he was working out.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Then I saw this. I thought this is pretty.
Oh, check this out, Chip. SMG Pro Gaming minting a Yeti of the Blue Tribe right now. Look at that.
Oh, right.
Happening live.
Wow,
or live as of 8/27.
Gotta love that, man. Gotta love that. Look at this here. Let me make. Yeah, I can't play the sound on this, but what I can do, here's what I can do. Oh, come on now. Let's see. Here we go. So Joel at Joel Katz, his name is David Schwartz. But he posted this. And I don't know if you saw this, Jeff, but I've never seen a billboard boat before. So apparently this is a thing. Somebody put this video up of a giant billboard on a boat. Have you ever seen this before?
I've seen all sorts of interesting things when you go down the intercoastal. They've got like the billboard boat. They've got that is out in the ocean. Yeah. They'll cruise up and down the coastline with different billboards. Every so often you'll see one. Seen them before. Not often. The coolest is when you're in the Boca Lake area and they bring over the food boats and you can swim over and you can order and they'll bring food to you. You can go over. They have a bar, drinks. There's a cafe. If you want to get coffee, it's really cool. Right on the water. Everything's in the water.
So then, Jeff, somebody posted this video right here. Let me turn the sound down because it'll annoy me. But remember, this was the latest for BG123, the latest little riddle. So somebody animated it. And they're like, look what we found. And there's BG123. There's a knight. They're walking. Let's see. What did they find? What did they actually find? Oh, my God. It's the billboard boat. There it is. It's going by.
Oh my God.
A billboard
That's
boat.
too much. What is
It's
it?
amazing. Took the time to animate this. Look at that. That just, I
That's
mean, that
awesome.
takes a little bit of time, Jeff. That's not
That is awesome.
even AI, I don't think can animate it like that. But there you go.
Hmm.
That was an After Effects thing, man. It took a little bit of work. I love it. And then
Yep.
zoom in. There it is, the billboard boat. Gotta love it.
That's right.
Gotta love the people in
And
this community.
And by the way, Chip, if anybody was wondering, it's like if you go to onthechain.io, you can see all sorts of cool interviews that we've done. And we had Ellie Tarrant was actually on the show. We actually interviewed her, and that was January 17 of 2022. So we're talking about almost 3
Early
years
days,
ago.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
I had a
early
conversation
days.
with her.
And the SEC v Ripple expose, the one you're talking about. And
Yeah.
she did a lot of the heavy lifting on that, and obviously Gasparino did too. She was awesome. And we talked about it. So if you go and watch the show with her, we kind of workshopped what she had gone through, the learning curve and learning process. That was way early days. And the fact that they were working on this 3 years ago, as an, kind of digging in the expose on it, I think that was big. And the fact that Gasparino was on the front lines of it, is a big deal, even
Absolutely,
bringing that
man.
up. So
Absolutely. Just know he's trolling. Knows he's just having fun.
yeah,
He's goofing around. I mean, that's how he enjoys
yeah.
himself. But I was having
The
like
chain dot audio. Go
I had reached out to
check it out.
Ellie maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I had said compliment her or gave her some. I DM'd her something, and I was like, "Hey, thanks. You're doing a great job. It's amazing, to see you grow and how far you've come." And she said, "I'll never forget that you and Jeff were the first ones that had me on your podcast.
Oh yeah,
That was the first
we were the
podcast that I
first.
ever did.
That's right. That's right.
First
Look
one
at
with
that
John Deere
right there.
too, so
Number one. We're number one on the chain. We had Elion, and you're right, John Deaton.
I'm
First
bringing
one.
Charlie Gasparino on. We got to bring Charlie in here. But you guys have to be
Charlie,
here.
if you're listening, you're coming on the show.
Coming on the show.
I'm sure
Gotta
he's
have
listening.
I did ask him one time, but he said I need to reach out to Fox Business because he can't. It's just the same thing as Ripple. Like you can't ask him. He could say yeah, but you got to go through the proper channels. You have to go through Fox Business. So
Really? Is that how it goes?
to have
I
him
don't
on,
know what
yeah,
I think about that. Yeah. That's so
yeah. I'll laugh now. So let's look at this. So this is our money. Says my prediction: $8 to $10. I'm going to hold you to it. That's it.
got your
Now, if you lose your head, oh wait a minute, forget about that. That's the same as Jeff. That ain't gonna work. If I lose, I'll shave my head. No, wait a minute, that doesn't work either.
that works. That works.
No, that's not good, man. We can't do that. There's no way we can do that. Get me on the show with the bearable bone, bearable boy, bearable man. Yeah, yeah. And Deaton too says Matt LaRoche. That's right.
That'd be very cool.
It looks like Hulk Hogan these days. Well, that's great. If you keep it up, I'll tell you my Hulk Hogan story. That's what happens. You get a few drinks and it's not good. Remember, did I tell you that story when I was in San Francisco, Jeff? Did I tell you that story? I think I told it a couple of times.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. But look at Adrian.
You shouldn't mess with a guy. I don't care. He could beat your ass, and he did a lot of restraint that night, and I was trolling the hell out of him. But
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan was with some girl. I think when he's still married. I'm like, what's going on, Hulk Hogan? He's like, thanks, brother. How you doing, brother? And he goes, I'm here with somebody. I go, I see that. How are you doing tonight? And I'm like, come on, brother. And I was just in his face, like, just, oh, brother. He's like, can you leave me alone? And I was like, let's go, brother. He was getting mad, dude. And then my buddy that I was with there, he's like, bro, I thought you were going to get your ass kicked. I thought you were going to be on the news tonight for Hulk Hogan assaults a man for pissing him off or something like that. And he was just sitting in the corner of this little swanky lounge of a hotel in San Fran. And he actually showed tremendous restraint because, I mean, I don't know. I might have had a couple drinks with me. Just saying. I might have. But I was just goofing on him. I wasn't trying to be. I always loved him. I was a great fan of his. I mean, it wasn't just, but I was just doing the, oh, brother. Okay, brother. That's enough. Let's go. Move along. Do you think we get the bearable bull to take his mask off at the Quantum Summit? No, he won't do it.
Oh.
No, no, he won't do it. And he had a good reason too, because I said, like, he goes, hey, do you live by your terms? And I said, I do. He goes, these are my terms. And I'm like, that's when I got it. I'm like, all right, man, everybody has their terms. He's sticking to his terms. He wants to be anonymous, and he is. And he could have been walking all over that hotel in Australia when we saw him, and I would never have known it's him. and that's the way he wants to live his life, and I can respect that. So, you know, I don't recommend everybody use their real name, Jeff. I don't recommend people use the real name on socials or real name and stuff. I mean, but you know, it happens. What are you gonna do? Look at this right
My
here.
name is
My name is, and remember this is hanging on Brad Garlinghouse's wall. Laugh now, but one day XRP will power the world, baby. I'm still waiting for that day. And Mel, I hope, I would love to make a bet with you and Lou, like 3 days before office. That would be on the 17th, January 17th, XRP to $10. Dude, I would be like, you know
think,
what?
think that's gonna happen.
I don't know. I hope to God it does happen. I mean, you know, Mel says it. I mean, he's never given a date before, so this is interesting.
Right. Let's make a bet for a hamburger.
For a hamburger? I would do that for a hamburger, for a nice little hamburger.
Who said we also had Warren Davidson on? Was that John Doe Crypto? Somebody had, John Doe Crypto. There you go. Warren Davidson, the author of the Token Taxonomy Act that we've talked about. This is the guy right here, way ahead of everyone else. You know, so if you think about this, May 6th, 2021, May 6th, 2021, when all the other YouTubers out there, you know, we're still like, you know, hypothesizing over cartoon bears and stuff and, you know, whatever else was going on. You know, we're over here doing serious stuff.
That might have been us. Too.
What's that?
That might have been us too.
Oh, it was us.
Maybe that's who it was.
Day, though. This is a different day when we actually had Warren Davidson on. You know, sometimes you got to grow up, and then you go over here and check this out. We're going to get some other great people on. We got to bring in, you know, Byron Donalds. That's right. Oh, what happened with that? How that no longer exists? What happened there?
Go back and fix it, Jeff.
I don't even know where to fix it.
Got to fix it.
It's there.
Let me see if I can fix it. I don't know why it's
not
working.
That's weird. It's there someplace, but anyhow, we've had
we might have changed the name. That's why it doesn't find it or something. Who knows?
Then you go to Tom Emmer. You know, we had Emmer on. Well, this one wasn't his interview, but had you just go into interviews and you say, hey, look at some of, and we've gone through this. So if you guys are brand new here, go over to onthechain.io and check it all out because there's some really cool interviews and you can go see everything that we've done from a podcast perspective. If you do decide to subscribe, you can do it free. Just put your email in. The only thing we send is after the show, you get a cool email that will have all of the different links. So you can say, hey, I want to listen to the podcast, go back and rewatch it. I want to get, says in a show summary, but the show summary is going to get some badass Yetis coffee and actually supporting On the Chain, get some Blue Tribe badass Yetis over there. Here's all the different articles that we've covered on that show. Some we didn't, but all this is where the research, you know, comes from. Everything we end up talking about gets interwoven into the conversation.
The one thing we didn't show, go click on the truck, keep going, scroll, click on the vehicle, go up. You're going, go the other way. You passed it.
No.
I want you to click on it because we didn't cover this. This is one of the things we didn't cover.
This one?
Keep going, keep going. Nope. Keep going, keep going. There, click on that. Make that big. I just bought a new Jeep, it says. This is great. I just bought a new Jeep. I named it Elizabeth Warren because it's all white, but it says it's a Cherokee. That's great.
Took me a second.
That's fantastic. My God, the meme community is phenomenal. Gotta love them.
That's hilarious.
You just really gotta love them, Jeff. I mean, for real. So
that's great.
This is right, Mike. You do have to order more coffee, but if you got a badass Yeti, you can get a discount by going to the Discord. You can get a discount on that coffee, man.
Discounts.
But we're not. Unfortunately, we're drinking. What are you drinking today? A little bourbon, Scotchy Poo. What are you drinking?
14. Really good. Oban 14. The Oban.
Oban. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 14. Drinking a little Bullet. So there you go. Cheeky card. Cheeky. Cheeky is right. That says smash the like button. He's not wrong. Go ahead and do it.
Smash it a couple times.
A cheap Cherokee. A cheap Cherokee. Oh my God. Yeah. You do have one. Okay, that's good, man. So I wanted to Let's play this next up. This is good. Let's see. I want to see this. It's an anonymous video type video, but talking about the 16th Amendment, this is something that I hope Trump actually, he's been hinting a lot about it. 1913 was a bad year for the United States, okay? 1913, we got the Federal Reserve, we got IRS, it's just not, it was not a good year, right? I mean, we got the 16th Amendment. Here we go.
About the 16th Amendment, when we handed over a fundamental freedom in 1913. Before this, taxing income was unconstitutional, and for good reason. The framers of our Constitution knew that allowing the government to take a direct cut of your earnings meant handing it immense power. They designed a system where taxes came from tariffs and excise fees, not from the pockets of citizens. It worked. America grew, fought wars, and built its future without prying into the personal incomes of its people. Then came the 16th Amendment. They called it fairness, but what it really did was centralize power in Washington. Suddenly, the government could take a piece of everything you earn, deciding how much you keep and how much they take, before you even see it. That's not fairness, that's control. And what's the excuse? War. Always war. First the Civil War, then every kind of war they could name. Poverty, drugs, climate. But this country thrived before income taxes. It had surpluses. What changed? A growing government, hungry for power. The 16th didn't just create tax. It changed our relationship with government, turned citizens into subjects, working for the state. Every April, we're forced to account for our lives. They call it voluntary compliance, but we know better. Repealing the 16th Amendment isn't radical. It's necessary. It's about restoring what we lost. Freedom to work, to earn, to live without government overreach. Because a government that controls your income controls your life. And that's not the America the founders fought for.
What do you think about that?
100% spot on. It's definitely not the America that our forefathers fought for, or that anybody has really fought for. If you think about the intrusion of government into our lives to a whole different level, right? And there's certain things that have happened, and we talked about it yesterday, referenced it on how they've expanded their powers unconstitutionally. There's some
Right.
things that have been granted to them, some things that haven't, and we just sit back and take it. For instance, what's happening right now, the IRS decides they're going to write rules on how taxation is going to be handled for DeFi. Who's giving them the authority to discuss cryptocurrency and taxation on crypto when there's no legislation? The only legislation that was actually going to address exactly how it's going to be handled, and there would be zero reason to put in a bill like this in front of Congress if they didn't have the authority to make a determination on how taxation was handled. And IRS doesn't have that authority. They can't write law.
No, they
None of
cannot.
these entities can write law. So hopefully, under this new Congress, hopefully under this new administration, hopefully under this new Doge, they go in and they say to all these three-letter agencies, all these bureaucracies, all these unelected bureaucratic officials, they go in and they say, hey, you know what? You need to go back and adhere to the Constitution, and all of these things that you've done are now going to be dismantled. And that this is exactly why, year over year or session over session, we saw Warren Davidson putting the Token Taxonomy Act in front of Congress, trying to get this passed. There still would be zero path to having it approved. That's why it wasn't done again, for like the past couple years. But come 2025, seating of a new Congress with a president, with a Senate that would sign stuff like this through, I feel confident that we're probably going to see something similar to this. And the reason why I bring this up, and it references right to that video, but if you think about what the Token Taxonomy Act addressed, the Security Act of 1933, it addresses the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. And we're talking about laws that are, almost, now at this point, over 90 years old, right? And then we get into the Investment Advisors Act. It all has to go on to how do we now address and amend. It's not a big rewrite, but it's an amendment to these authorities to say, okay, now under the guise of the Securities Act, this is where digital token, factors into the equation. Then we get into what the investment company factor is, which would have done away with the whole Gary Gensler, nonsense had they got it in. And then the big one is amending the IRS, the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, which there was some big code that had been put in there, and we can dig in. Anybody can go in and read this and dig in and read through what the actual Internal Revenue Code is. But when they start going through and amending a little bit, right, and figuring out, okay, again, how does crypto fit into it? How to, all these different amendments to, the different verbiage. So here's bullion and virtual currency, right? And they get into certain exchanges of virtual currency treated as non-taxable exchanges. What does that really mean? What is, how do you, change and strike out real property and put in certain property? How does that impact the actual rules and the authority of the IRS at that point? But right now, it's the Wild West. These agencies, these bureaucracies will do what they want to do. And Chip, they're trying to insert their authority now. Why now? Why a month before President Trump takes office and an entire new administration comes in, an entire new Congress comes in, both House and Senate, full authority across the board, Supreme Court, Senate, presidency, Congress, House and Senate, presidency and Supreme Court. We're holding all branches of government, plus the Supreme Court is going to side. Now all of a sudden they're acting. Now all of a sudden they want to do something that's going to be potentially detrimental, to this space, to investment. Here's another one: gain from sale or exchange of virtual currency, gain from sale or this kind of digs into it, and you can kind of draw down on it. But that video and what they're trying to do right now, that's got to be overturned and thrown out. And to say, hey, new Congress comes in, hey, IRS, what you just did is voided.
Well, here's why, too, because of the Chevron Doctrine, right? What was the Chevron Doctrine? It was a legal principle that required courts to defer to a federal agency's interpretation. So this is where they would basically outsource, and this is why all of basically Congress writes ambiguous things anyway. I mean, they're always like open to interpretation. So they basically just farmed this out to the agencies. The agencies went ahead and created doctrine out of it. And this happened in 1984, the USA, Chevron USA, which is why it's called Chevron, versus the Natural Resources Defense Council decision. So what did Loper Bright Enterprises do? So they overturned the Chevron Doctrine, placing the responsibility on courts independently to determine if an agency's actions are actually consistent with the statute and Congress's intent. But it goes beyond that. It's like you can't, this goes back to Jeff, what you're saying. It's like you cannot materialize rules. It's like, on one hand, you had all of the politicians saying only Congress makes the rules, and they were like, and then on the other hand, they were yelling at the SEC, going, "When are you going to give us clear rules?" Okay, well, it's not the SEC's job. SEC interprets what they see, but they're not able to create new legislation. Only that can be done by Congress, right? And it has to be signed by the president. And this is another reform we have to make: is like remove the ambiguity of the whole thing, but it says, what are the implications of Loper Bright Enterprises ruling? Increase judicial scrutiny of agency actions. Check. Introduce uncertainty about existing regulations and agency interpretations. This is why Chevron, the greatest thing that happened probably during the Biden administration, was what happened in June of the Chevron Doctrine being overturned. Because now, and this is what I keep coming back to, it's like, I know they're filing lawsuits, it's unconstitutional, it's this and that. Well, all you have to say is, show me where Congress gave you the authority to go after crypto and make laws about crypto, because I guarantee there aren't any. And then deferring back to 1933 and 34 securities law, no mention of crypto. So they're dead in the water. This goes up to the Supreme Court. They're not going to get through with it. But even easier than that, all you have to do, Jeff, is like what you're talking about, is pass the FIT 21, pass any of Emmer's, any of any of the pro crypto bills. And this ends. It's done. It's like in the first 3 months. You don't have to lose your shit over it. It's a very simple thing. But this Chevron Doctrine, to me, like, it was such a monumental ruling that is going to eliminate. And again, it plays in with Doge. All they have to do is start going through the regulation, okay, and start cross-examining it with what Congress signed into law. Nope, that's not there. That's not there. And get rid of all this regulation. And just you don't have to sign anything. You just get rid of it. They don't have the authority to make it. So I think that's sort of a huge thing that we can stem with. And I just think that, well, new sheriff's coming in town. It's going to be a whole different ball game. I wanted to put this up. Let's see, where's Jim D's quote here? He says, wait till the plebeians find out taxpayers have been paying homage to the plasma orbs wrecking the DOD drones all over the planet's Air Force bases. Oh, just wait, man. Just wait till they get wind of that. And then there's tens of thousands of government policies being enforced by lawfare threats. Yeah, 100%, man. This is why we the people coming together, and it doesn't matter. I mean, we had so many people. Did you ever think you'd see a Kennedy back in the White House? Did you ever think it'd be in a Republican's administration? Did you ever think you'd see somebody like Tulsi Gabbard, who basically got run out of the Democrat Party, who then became a Republican? I mean, we're living in very special times, and probably, when you look back at times throughout history, you can't recognize it at the time. But if you think about where we are, there we go. Here we go. I got my very own rant segment. But if you think about it, Jeff, if you think about the time we're living in, it's unprecedented, right? To have this A-team going into the White House, and then getting people from the private sector, the Bill Ackmans of the world, coming in here. Man, we are in for a treat. Are we going to get everything we ever hoped for? No. But like what Mel was saying there too, is the IRS is going away. I've been saying and hinting about that. We've been talking about that on the show for years. The Federal Reserve's gone. It's huge. The Federal Reserve is gone. Why? Because you cannot have what Trump is promising. He uses like flowery words like it'll be the greatest time in the history. The only time you can do that is you got to get rid of the debt instrument known as the Federal Reserve. So auditing them, when I see pallets of money showing up with QR codes in Syria that have the Federal Reserve, little QR code on it. Well, how'd that get there? Are they just printing money and sending it places? So I think there's something very special in that too. I think we're going to discover a lot of interesting things are going to happen. But now this is where we delete the swamp. This is where the swamp goes. He floated all that in the first administration, wasn't going to get it done. Now he's going to get it done. The only way people could understand is they had to live through it. You couldn't tell people like, this is what they're going to do. Inflation is going to go through the roof. Yeah, sure. That ain't going to happen. And then everything Trump said, it happened, Jeff. And so now we're in a position here where I think we're at an unprecedented times. And it's really not about Trump anymore. It's about the people. He's always said that from day one. It's about us. It's about what we believe. And now we've got consensus. And Jeff, we're going to be living in the best. Legendary. Yeah. Jeff and I both get a rant segment. I love it. It's good stuff. And it's exciting, man. I mean, we are really, yeah, I got a little charged up. I don't get as charged up as Jeff, but sometimes I go, man. Sometimes you have to go. You know what it might be, Jeff? Yeah. It might be toasting to the new year. Maybe a little bit of a little truth serum there. That kind of always helps too.
25 and MAGA.
Yeah, to 2025, to we the people.
There you go.
To we
Yeti
the people.
strong.
Yeti strong. And here's what's interesting, guys. So we are so thrilled that you guys have been absolutely, picking up some Yetis. But here's the weird, for some reason, they're all blue Yetis. They're all blue tribe. Is it because you guys like the blue tribe more than the white tribe? Or is it when you search, you don't see the white tribe come up? Because we have white tribe too. I'm just curious. Is there something going on there? Is there a preference there? I mean, might be something there, but I don't know. I'm just curious how that works.
Right.
So Mike, I think, grabbed it. I think Cash Velocity, Mike, I think everybody's going ahead and grab it. We are on tonight. We're getting riled up before the new year, guys. We're like 20 some days away from it all getting turned around, right? It's not going to happen. I have a feeling that the first 3 to 6 months will be rough because they're trying to crash the economy. They're trying to crash everything. There's the bonds. I mean, the bond market. Everything is they're trying to destroy to make it happen on Trump's watch. It didn't happen on Trump's watch to go, but it all has something to do there somewhere.
That's right.
I would say that. Look at this, Jeff. I wanted to play this because this is what's exciting. When you see kids.
That's what we're giving away, by the way. So what
we've got, how many? Let me see what we got here. We've got 20 entries, guys. 20 entries. I want to see some more entries there.
Type in Yeti and then have your Zaman wallet ready to go so we can send this bad boy over to you.
You remember in July, Mel was right all along. Well, listen, buddy, I've been right all along too, pal. So let's see. Let's see if you're right about $10 XRP. If you are, I will come on your show and I will give you some major props. I will say it right here because I want you to be right. But don't forget, I've been saying this stuff for
Definitely
years.
want you to be right.
I'm not
Let's
the
go.
only one, man. So look at this. I love when kids imitate life. And these kids, I actually saw Donald Trump Jr. Put this out. I've seen it before, but it kind of came into my feed again. But this is kids imitating life. This is when Trump got shot, and they recreated the whole thing, especially with the sound effects and everything.
I really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Gotta love that, Jeff.
That's nice. Yeah.
I like how they dubbed the sound in there and everything too, and the fight, everything. That was pretty awesome.
You know what? We need to figure out. So Matt LaRoche, sorry to step on that, important segment, but I saw this pop up. Matt LaRoche created, when we got to Australia, picked us up. He had a badass Yetis t-shirt on. So he took his NFT, had it printed onto a t-shirt, which was kick-ass. And here he says, so now he has one with the White Tribe Yetis on. He said, dude came up, wow, cool shirt. Where'd you get it? Dude, I own them and got it printed. You can go to Badass Yetis. There you go.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
Get it?
That was so cool. I was so blown away by that. I was like, holy shit. I mean, imagine, here's Matt coming to get us at the airport after 30 hours of travel time. We see that. I was like, what a sight for sore eyes. But it's just cool that he took all the time to do that. It was incredible.
That was kick ass. And here's over. Not chilling, but the coffee's not bad.
Yeah, well, listen, man, when you get fresh roast order, there's something special about it. And it's really hard to find because unless you go to a roastery where you pick it up after it's been roasted, it's pretty hard to do it. And also the beans are ethically sourced. That was one thing that was important to Jeff and I. A lot of these big coffee, they strong arm the little guys and they get screwed over and they sell their beans for pennies. And meanwhile, the middleman and everybody else makes all the money on it. These are ethically sourced. So that's one of the key things that were like really important to Jeff and I. We don't want the little guys being taken advantage of, these growers. So that's another key thing too. And Jeff, look at this right here. Ayn Rand, who is one of my favorites, she was being interviewed in the 1970s, and listen to her prediction right here. Speaking of predictions, listen to what she said in the 1970s, and let's see if she was spot on or not.
How does Ayn Rand, philosopher, view the United States of America today? People waiting in gasoline lines, people fearing a possible recession, people wondering whether we will survive as a nation because of military posturing by other countries around the world. Tell me how you feel.
That's a pretty big statement right there. But first of all, to sum it up, I feel that this country is being destroyed by its philosophy. Specifically, by its universities. The most dangerous thing in this country today are the universities because they're teaching the kind of ideas that would necessarily have to lead to the destruction of this country. I think that the American people is too good for that kind of program. You notice that the people are turning to the right. That's a very healthy sign, but there is no leadership on the right. There is no intellectual leadership. There are no ideas. And it's very possible that the people will be defeated for lack of proper intellectual leadership. However, the basic premises...
Excuse me, but then you don't mean Harvard intellectual leadership or Yale intellectual leadership.
I mean a Harvard that would be preaching American ideas, more specifically reason, individualism, capitalism. If an institution of the intellectual prestige, which they don't deserve today, but they deserved it at one time, of Harvard, if an institution of that magnitude were preaching the proper ideas, that is the ideas on which America originally was based, or to say it briefly, the philosophy of Aristotle, which was the father of this country. Who was? If they were doing that, you could have the biggest renaissance in the world Still not too late even now. You could have a better renaissance than the first one. This country would come back to life. But today, when all those institutions from Harvard on down are preaching collectivism, mysticism, and above all, altruism, self-sacrifice of yourself, the giving up, the resignation, all the disgusting kind of ideas that the whole world has been nurturing for centuries. When they do that, this country can't survive.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
This is so funny. He's totally missing everything. He's totally missing the boat. Like, this is way over his head. Remember, this is like the late 70s. He's talking about gas lines. We're talking about maybe 76, 77, 78 when this happened.
I've never been to Harvard. I've never been to class there, but can you give me an
That's
example?
your advantage.
Oh, thank you. Of how they are teaching sacrifice, how they are teaching altruism?
Well, open daily paper and look at Mr. Carter, a very peculiar creature, who is telling you that we're going to overcome the oil shortage by driving less, by giving up. Let us all make a sacrifice. Let's lower our standard of living, and we'll all be living better. Now, is that a proper philosophy to tell a country that has pride and self-esteem? At one time, with all the faults in American intellectual equipment, and there were a lot of faults, at least people were taught pride in their own country and in the good aspects, the great achievements of this country. Today, you're supposed to apologize to every naked savage anywhere on the globe because you are more prosperous, because you've earned your money. You have to feel guilty and apologize for it, while he hasn't and doesn't intend to learn from you. He just wants your money. That's what we're being taught.
Yeah. Tom Schneider was you know who did a great imitation of Tom Schneider on Saturday Night Live was Dan Aykroyd. Did him perfect. So almost when I see Tom Schneider, I almost see Dan Aykroyd anymore, but he did a phenomenal impression of him. But Ayn Rand predicting this in the 70s, and man, how obviously true could that have been? But maybe back then you were thinking, what were he talking about? And she also mentions Jimmy Carter, who passed away today at 100 years old. You know, Carter had a good heart. He always tried to do what was best in his mind for the country. In his mind for the country, but he tried to do what was best. He was a fighter. He tried to do a lot of stuff. I don't always agree with what he was up to. But one thing I do know, Jeff, he did go and leave this world knowing he was not the worst president ever. And I think that left him a little bit of good feeling inside his heart. He might have been number 3, but he was not number 1 anymore. So I think that was good. But again, he tried to do the best thing, what he thought was always right. And the guy followed his heart, and he lived a long life. I mean, I think that's something to be respected. And again,
directly responsible for the toppling of the Shah in Iran and the kind of chaos that ensued in the Middle East. Is directly attributed to his administration.
Yeah, and look what happened with the hostages, and look what happened with Reagan. Reagan pulled the same thing that Trump just said. He's like, those hostages better be returned before I take office. Or we didn't have the term F around find out, but we do now. Trump said the same thing about the hostages being held from last October 7th of 2023 would have been right. Jim D says you can't preach or teach conservative ideas to young brains fried, damaged by TV programming, drugs, booze, factory-made junk foods. I think you can, because I'll tell you what, I do think that people, the new punk rock, the new counterculture is conservatism, and I think that in this election, more young people than ever before voted conservative, right? Because they're looking out for themselves. They can't find jobs. When things hit home, I do feel like there is a way to reach them. When they couldn't find jobs, they've got these massive student loans. They're trying to figure out what their next move is. And they're like, yeah, none of this, basic common sense, none of this makes sense to them. I do feel like there has been a little bit of a shift, and they're looking at and traditional media is dead, man. Like you go, like mainstream media, what is mainstream media? It's not what we used to call it. Because you got people sitting looking on their laptops in their kitchen, like Mark Dice, who gets he's got 2 million followers, and he'll get 300,000-400,000 views. That's more than any show. He does a 5 to 10 minute video, right? talking and teaching. So I do think that people are looking for something new, and there's a lot more conservative influencers coming out, which I think is a very good thing, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I think we're seeing a lot of changes with this younger generation, which is a positive. There's many are waking up. Sometimes it takes a little bit of conflict, confrontation. They have to be knocked down to learn, to rise up again. And so we're starting to see that, which is really good. If you check out Atlas Shrugged, written in 1957, that was also very interesting.
Who's John Galt?
That was a good one.
Who is John Galt? Doesn't it open up isn't the first line of that? Who's John Galt? I think it's like the first paragraph or something. But yeah, I mean, but Ayn Rand wrote a lot of great books. She was just a great. I mean, there's so many amazing. That's true too. So maybe there's some hope. XRP gal. So put that message. What's up, LG? Put this message up right here. Scott Pressler, right? Not your daddy's conservative. So somebody got into an argument with me the other day and saying, "Oh, you guys are just anti-LGBT." I'm like, "Are we really?" I said, two of the biggest political. I'll tell you who delivered Pennsylvania was a guy known as Scott Pressler, openly gay man. This guy right here is a hero. He totally delivered Pennsylvania. How did he do it? He went out and registered hundreds of thousands of people. It was sort of his mission, man. The guy was driving around Pennsylvania in a broken down truck. Luckily, some people came together and they bought him a new truck towards the end of the campaign. But here's Scott Pressler, who went out and made a difference, right? Hardcore conservative. And people say like, oh, and honestly, to me, I look at this guy as a hero. And one of the groups that he was underrepresented was he went out and registered Amish people, almost 180,000 of them, which kind of turned it, right? Because they wanted to be represented, their ideals, where they come from. They live a different type of life. They're not into technology. They're not always into what's going on, but a lot of the beatdown came for them as well. So I look at that. You want to know who else is a huge voice and who's probably going to run for governor of California? Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner was trolling Mark Cuban so bad, saying Mark Cuban looks like he's going through a transition. I mean, when you get this kind of level of trolling, and she says, I can't tell the difference between Rachel Maddow and Mark Cuban, like somebody who is going after that, and she's a huge voice. Now, I guarantee you, she runs for governor. She's got a pretty damn good shot. Talking about conservative to the bone. So you got so this whole thing, it's a Big Tent. Right, we just saw somebody leave the Democrat Party recently, who was saying like, I raised tens of millions of dollars for the party, and I did a little criticism like, where did the money go? And I got the knives thrown at me, and I said, well, come over to our party, man. It's a huge tent. We want you. It's like, come on in. Let's have a sharing of ideas, right? But let's figure out how to make everything great, right. And
make it great again.
Make it great again, and the hardcore trolling of. That you have that goes on and Trump's doing a lot of trolling. I sometimes this is kind of like he does the same thing as Charlie Gasparino. He's trolling, right? But ultimately what he's trying to do is there's something behind it. Like this right here. Take this for example. Here's a woman who runs into Prime Minister Trudeau, and listen what she says. He thinks she's going to say something glowing, but
Mr. Prime Minister. Yeah. Please get the fuck out of BC.
Have a wonderful day, man.
Yeah, you suck.
Get out of BC. Get out of Canada where you're at. So it's
I couldn't wait to go up and talk to him.
He was so excited. He's like, oh, hey, and I got to give the guy, he never loses composure. He's always thankful. People are shouting stuff at him. But, look, I mean, like, let's make Canada great again. Let's make every country phenomenal and great again. Let's get rid of, central banking. Let's get rid of all, the taxation. That was one of the things that, and again, this is more about negative to me, and this is my take on it, but him saying the 51st state is more about Trump making fun of the high taxation in Canada when he says, if you guys become the 51st state, you know what'll happen? Your taxes will drop by 60%. It's just trolling of Trudeau is all it is, right? And people are taking him way too serious.
That's right. You know what else is making NFTs great again? Badass Yetis.
Badass Yetis are making the Himalayas great again, Jeff. Without a doubt. Chip Rant 2.0. Let me go on my rant. Let me go.
Keep going.
Yeah.
But
So
we gotta do this giveaway. It's about that time.
it is about that time, isn't it, Jeff?
To do it. So this is the guy right here. This is a yuck from the Badass Yetis White Tribe. And by the way, we didn't announce it, but for limited time, short time, this is what we've been able to do. We're able to put a discount on both of the blue and the white tribe, which is really awesome. So that way it was kind of getting, way too much, and we're able to do this limited time. And I think we're going to probably get sellout on the blue tribe completely. But then we have the white tribe, but we did put this nice discount on. We'll do there it is right there. Yep. So with the blue tribe, 16 XRP, white tribe, 12 XRP, which is really awesome. Just makes it easier to get them. And it's super easy to get it when you have a Zaman wallet. You just connect it right to the platform. That's how it gets done. You go over here, you go click, you attach your wallet, and then you're ready to go. Just connect your Zaman wallet. Done. Easy.
We've got 26, Jeff. If you guys want to make a last minute, type in Yeti, YETI, type in Yeti, and then I'll put this up here. But there's what we have right there. 26 entries. You have a 1 in 26 chance unless somebody else kind of chimes in. But a 1 in 26 chance. Here we go. Come on, people. What do we got? That's it? No more Yeti takers?
We can't. How many likes are there? I didn't even not logged into the YouTube channel. It's weird that we can't see that over here. But
yeah, we should show that too. That'd be nice to see.
We should get a whole bunch of thumbs up. Everyone should be liking it as you come in. You should be subscribing if you're not subscribed. Hopefully, most people are. And then if not, you know what to do.
Yeah, you know what to do, people.
You know that thing.
You know the thing, Jeff. You know the thing. Come on, you know the thing.
Look at that. It looks like that thing right there. That's what it looks like.
Jeff, do you know the thing?
I know the thing. It's called a yuck. Do we zoom in and show the pine cone? Look at these mini palm trees, mini pine trees.
Palm trees, Jeff. We got Florida on the mind right there. Look at that. See a little glow coming off from the side light there from the sunset there. Look at that. It's beautiful, man.
Look at
That's a yuck. He looks like he's getting into trouble. He's got some little mischievous thing going on there. He's got something happening, Jeff. I don't know exactly what it is, but he's up to something. Man. All right, we got 27. That's it. We're going to go ahead and spin this boy. Guys, get the Zaman wallet ready. Here's how it works. When the winner is chosen, when it picks a winner, you will then type, I'm here, I'm getting my wallet address. That's it. I'm here, I'm getting my wallet address. That way we know that you're here. Now, otherwise we'll be wondering where the hell you are. Okay, so there you go. Ready? Let the best person win here. 50 likes. That's not bad. We got more people in here, but
should have like 80. Everybody should come and just give it a like. It's cool. It helps.
I always forget too, Jeff. When I go in the video, sometimes I feel if they don't say it at the end, like, hey, if you like this video, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do. Let me give it a like. So here we go, guys. Ready? It's a little too early there, Scott. You didn't win yet. Come on. I'm here. I'm getting my wallet address. That's what I want to hear from you guys. Ready? Let's go.
That's why he's been hugging Blue Yetis. That might be the problem.
Let's go, people. Come on now.
Here we go. Who's it going to be?
Mike. Barak wins. OTC OG member wins. Mike, please tell me you got your. Please tell me you've got your.
Mike, do you have a?
Tell me you're here and tell me you got your wallet.
Mike, winner,
chicken dinner. Let's go, man. Mike, let's go. Let's go.
Roth. Mike, there he is. And he has it. There you go. Throw in your Zaman wallet address in there. And we're going to transfer this bad boy yuck over to you. And then when we do another drawing, we're going to do drawings every show. So it's very
cool. You have multiple. So if you have one Yeti, if you get a discount in the Discord. So for the coffee. So we want to make it like some utility. If you got 3 Yetis, you get, 3. You think you get 20% off, I think is what it is. Don't quote me on it. I don't remember, Jeff. You set it up, but you can basically go into Discord, you register your Yetis, and then it will give you the channel for the code to be able to do it, and then you can get so you get a bigger discount there, Mike, when you do purchase. And I will say this, Mike has been a real big fan of the coffee and really appreciate all of your kind words about it. And I will put up so you guys can see the coffee here. Let's put this up here. So let's share the screen. Let's do this, people. Let's go here. There it is. Beautiful. I love it. There it is. There it is, Badass Yeti's Coffee. There it is right there. You can get Obsidian Bold, some Noir Symphony, some Mountain Mist, or the Brood Awakening. Each one features a cool little Yeti as a on the coffee art. There you go. There's a Mountain Mist. There's a Obsidian Bold, and of course the Noir Symphony. Jeff, we had so much fun coming up with the names for these, didn't we? It was so much fun coming up with the names of the coffee. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was really good. I'm here and I do have it. That's what we wanted to see, man. And then let us know if you post it, because you know what, Jeff? It's probably going to filter it out here because it's going to think it's gibberish, and we're not going to like that. So we're going to have to go to the YouTube channel and see. Let me see here. Let me go to it, and let me click on it and see if I can find
the discounts are on the. So you will see a link. Yep. You'll actually get a link. So depending on whether or not you become a warrior, a shaman, or an elder within the Discord. That's right. It's in the lodge. It's a nice discount too. All right. Oh, we got tied up on that. So Mike, you got the yuck. Or Mike. What am I looking at? Mike Morrow.
I'm not sure what you're looking at, Jeff.
Oh.
Trying to get to
regular YouTube. All right. So here we go. So let's grab the chip.
What's up?
We got.
I'm trying to show the Discord so people. I'm trying to show it, but unfortunately, I got 5,000 channels and I can't find our damn channel. That's the problem with it. Are you able to pull it up?
Well, I'm trying to see if Mike is going to throw in his Zaman wallet so I can grab that and transfer this bad boy over.
Oh, here we go.
Adrian said that coffee had Jeff on MVP mode yesterday. Man, I was ramped up. Things are slowing down. You got it.
Right
Hold that back.
Here, I can pull it up.
Oh, decaf doesn't work in the coffee world. The Yetis don't like.
We can probably get some decaf. I mean, I can say we don't have it, but we can probably get some decaf. But here's the badass channel right here, so you can read all about the legend right here. It gives the whole backstory. Yeah, this is the language right here, so you can learn some Yeti words. It's a whole thing, man. Read about the legend. You can learn to speak Bay, which is badass Yeti right there, so you can see some of that stuff. Feedback and suggestions. There's tribal council. You can go here. You click on verify your Yeti. So you go and click verify, and then it says through Zom, but it's actually Zaman. So you go there, get to change that. Any announcements that we do, we announce all the cool,
all the giveaways.
Giveaways are in here, so you can see who won what. There's the hangout too, so people can go in there and kind of chat and talk and blah, blah, blah. There's the blue tribe hangout, and here's the white tribe. We have a purple tribe and black tribe, although we haven't actually minted them yet, but we do have them. Member lounge, the warrior lounge, shaman lounge. These are the different discounts you get when you verify. You'll have access to that. We see all of them here because we are, because obviously we're admins. But that's it. There you have it. There you have it, Jeff. It's a good thing.
Mark, urologist.
Damn. Urologist is something, man. I gotta say, he's got the perfect name. I don't know if that was by design there, but he's got the perfect name, right? Yeah. It's very, very funny stuff, man.
How about? I know a doctor. His name was Dr. Richard Hare.
Was he an alopecia doctor, Jeff? Or that was be skin. What is it? Lose your hair? Was it like whatever? He was a transplant
of Richard. Sometimes.
211 XRP end of year clearance. Damn right, go Bills. Damn right.
Mike sent it to you, Chip. So now you have it.
Oh, I have
it? Did you DM'd it to him?
Let me see. That's fine if he doesn't want to share it publicly. I get that. Let me go in there and I'll see if I can grab it, Jeff. Hang on a second.
Next year, do you know New Year's Eve is actually coming up? Right around the corner.
Yeah, it is right around the corner. Let's go. Here it is, Jeff. I'm going to put it in the private chat.
I kept thinking New Year's Eve was Wednesday night. Meanwhile, it's Tuesday night.
There it is, Jeff.
My whole life was off a little bit.
Jeff, I just shared it in the private chat, so we're good.
All right, here we go.
Golden.
Here we go. I'm going to grab this bad boy right here and get ready because Mike is going to have
vasectomy doctor with Dr. Ballaster. True story.
this awesome.
Ballaster. Jeff, you see that?
I saw that.
Vasectomy doctor. I like that.
Ballaster.
There you go. Hey, Jeff, nobody circles their wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Damn straight. And I'm like, I don't really care, Josh. I don't care if Josh Allen wins the MVP. I want him to win the MVP in the Super Bowl. That's all I care about. I don't give a rat's ass. Who cares? We know what he did. We know who he is. So yeah, I agree with you, Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young.
Done. There you go. Mike, you are the proud owner of a Yuck Yuck. Badass Yeti's White Tribe Yuck Yuck. Number 1282. That's who.
How about this, Jeff? XRP gal had a GYN whose real name was Dr. Fear. Nicest guy you'd ever meet.
Huh.
It's a good thing it wasn't Dr. Happiness because it's probably like the meanest guy you'd ever meet, but you never know.
Today, the 29th. Look at that.
There we go. So, guys, last show of the year.
Last show of the year.
2024. Next time we'll talk. We won't be on the 1st because it'll be next Saturday because obviously the 1st is a holiday and that will be New Year's Day, but we will be back on Saturday, which will be fun, which will be great. So that's all we sort of have there.
What are you doing on the 31st?
I got a big party I'm going to, Jeff.
You.
Big swanky party. Got to wear a suit and everything.
Suit and everything?
My wife, which I refer to her as the first lady. First lady's wearing a really elegant. She's gonna be super. She'll look beautiful.
Like you're wearing a
super gorgeous dress. I'll be wearing a tie and a suit and everything.
What color?
I'm gonna wear my Vans too. Nah, they won't. She won't let me do that, but that'll be great. Beautiful suit with my checkered Vans. Man, that'd be great. It's a good suit. Yeah, it's elegant. It's a black tie, optional, but I'm not a tux guy.
Yeah. What is she wearing?
She's wearing this beautiful dress, man, with like the sheer sort of top thing. And it's really pretty.
It's awesome.
Nice shoes, yeah, it'll be good. So it'll be a nice swanky party. We'll be partying the new year with a bunch of friends. It'll be great. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really want to wear like a suit to party on like New Year's, but hey, that's sort of the dress code. You kind of go with what it is, right? I wish it was going to be at Mar-a-Lago, but this one is not at Mar-a-Lago. But that would have been fun. That would have been fun to have been invited to that.
That'd be awesome.
All right, he's got it. Yes, nice, dude. How many, Mike? How many is that for you? Is 2 or 3? I know you got a couple of Yetis. Tell me you have a couple of Yetis. I think
probably his first Yuck Yuck.
Please, God, yes. Finish the Chiefs. Justin's not going to want to hear that if he's here, but Bills, Lions, my Steelers, more Bubble Rooski. Yeah, we can't listen. What I can't take is the bad acting. Okay, please. I mean, please. At least Josh Allen is fun in those commercials. He doesn't look like, hi, I'm reading a card. They're hard to watch, dude. It's going to be lit big time, dude.
Chip, you going to Vegas? I'm not going to Vegas. But you know where we will be going? World of Innovation. Wave of Innovation.
Wave of Innovation. Oh, World
Wave of Innovation.
We're going to Wave of Innovation. We're going to MC it. It's going to be in Australia. Come to that one. And I'm not saying there's anything. You guys can go to Vegas and have fun too. I mean, Vegas will be fun. Be a lot of cool people to connect. But they're both in May. Jeff and I are taking a week to go to travel 20 hours there. Come on, deal with the hangover of the 16-hour time difference coming back. And so there's no way we could make Vegas, and it just would be a lot. Try to do that. In 3 weeks' time. So sometimes you just got to choose, and we're choosing to do the event that we are closely connected to and excited about.
That's it. Chip, you don't have a pair of Hey Dude shoes?
I don't have a pair of Hey Dudes. My brother rocks the Hey Dudes, but I'm an old classic guy. I still like my Vans. Sorry.
That's nice.
Got my Vans. I got a couple different pairs of Vans, but mostly I do have a checkered pair.
Where's the Quantum Summit? Is that in Orlando?
Yeah, the Quantum Summit's going to be the first week, I believe, of March. There's going to be amazing people there. Jeff and you and I were invited to go there. I don't know if we're getting a position on stage. It's gonna be a bevy of just amazing human beings going to be there. It's going to be just a culmination. It's probably the biggest event in the States. I would venture to say that the biggest must-be event. And when we get closer, we'll get ahead and we'll promote it there. But I think it's sold out already. So I don't know if we can get in there as speakers or get on a panel or just go. I'd love to be there. But the Quantum Summit's going to be great. We'll have more on that in the new year. Mel will give us some details that we can go ahead and share. But I definitely want to be at the Quantum Summit because it'll be phenomenal. Jet lag is horrible. Man, I was like head bob.
Right.
What's that?
There was a point where you disappeared when we were emceeing. He just wandered off, and I
wandered off like 3 hours. Just like had to carry it. But I ended up talking to people. That's the problem. I started chatting with people. I was talking with Venerable Bull. I was talking with John Deaton. I was talking with who else? Just a whole bunch of people.
But it's tough.
Jay from Spend the Bits.
Yeah, there were so many great people at the event that to go and mingle with. That was really great. There we go.
Yeah, go on a sidekick. Definitely, we're going there. You guys got to go. You got to show up. You might need a bigger venue for that, Mel. I think that's going to be. I think the venue might be too small. If we send a bunch of people there, it might have to be bigger. But that's okay. The lineup there is incredible. I mean, yeah, incredible, man. A lot of people that I've been watching on YouTube from all different sectors. So I'll be able to fanboy myself. So that'd be great.
Always fun.
XRP Bags. We met Bags. Bags
Australia.
was great. I know Bags. He did a couple sets. Yeah. 2 nights in a row. It was great. Attending a local XRP dinner with the Netflix XRP documentary on seating capacity 7. Good for you, my Mark Smithson. I guess we weren't invited. That's okay. We probably can't make it anyway, but that's all right. All right, guys, we got to get going. It's 9:30. We got to get out of here. We've been streaming for 1 hour and 21. It's time to go, guys. But want to wish everybody a safe, happy new year. Let's get ready for 2025 because it will be lit. It's going to be special. You're living in interesting times. Just, be thankful, have a lot of gratitude for all the blessings in your world, in your life, your family, your friends, the OTC family, everybody. And I'm excited about Mel's prediction because I want Mel to be right more than you could ever imagine. But let's go, Mel. What do you have there, Jeff? You got anything, any wishes or salutations before we get out of here?
Happy New Year to everybody. Appreciate everybody. You guys have been amazing. Great supporters of the show through 2024. We've survived the last 4 years. Many of us thought we never would. We wouldn't make it to this point. January 20th is right around the corner. 2025 is going to be an amazing, amazing year. It's going to be the start of many great things, MAGA across the world, which is great. And that's it. We've got Happy New Year to everybody. Make sure you guys at least celebrate a little bit. Make sure you guys make it to midnight if you can. That doesn't always happen for everybody, but for that, man, I'm grateful for everything that we have. So it's awesome, absolutely awesome.
We appreciate you. We appreciate the. There it is, right there. There's a prediction: $8 to $10, right there. 3 days before the inauguration. That would be January 17th. Let's go.
Is he talking about January 17th, or is he talking about end of year?
No, I think he said 8 to 10, 3 days before Trump's inauguration. That's what I thought he said.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Last cheers.
But
a little bit left. We got a half a sip there. By the way, I went out to dinner last night, Jeff, and I wasn't done with my old fashioned. The guy took it. I was like, dude, I wasn't done with it yet. Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.
There you go.
Clink glasses. Let's go.
Clink.
It's 2025, guys, man. Thank you for making this pleasurable to do. Thank you for making it a lot of fun for Jeff and I. You guys keep us laughing, you keep us thinking, and you guys drive a lot of what happens here on the chain. So January 17th, correct, man. Mel is coming with it strong, man. Hello, let's do it.
Cheers. That's it. Cheers, to everybody. Happy New Year. We'll see you guys Saturday morning all the way into January. It'll be a whole new year. We'll see you guys next year, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time next Saturday, because we're not going to be doing it, I guess, on the 1st, January 1 out. We'll be back on whatever that Saturday ends up being.
We might just be hammered by the time that rolls around, Jeff, and maybe we'll just go on and do a stream anyway. I don't think we're going to do it, but you never know.
Well, New Year's Eve is the 31st, which is Tuesday. So the
Technically
first is a Wednesday.
You know,
So
I mean,
Wednesday night, in theory, we could be here Wednesday night.
it's still a possibility. So
Yeah.
you never know. You might get a surprise
That's right.
announcement. And you'll have to check anyway because you won't get the notice. So it's not like you'll expect it anyway, right? So, all right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you next year. Remember, that's Saturday. Sounds weird, but we'll see you guys next year. Guys, have a good one.
Taking the
Killer
year
year, man. Thank you, Mike. Congratulations on winning the Yuck Yuck Badass Yeti. Thank you for all the support, guys, and we will see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff out. See you next year, guys. A little glitch. Wrong one, Jeff. Show over.
Hey, welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip.
Amazing show. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, wrong one. We will see you guys in the next one. See you guys next year. Chip and Jeff. Ow!
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.